Hey there, RosterWatch Nation. It's your friendly neighborhood trash man. Back again to talk about recent fantasy risers and recent fantasy fallers. So these risers are beneficiaries of recent trades, lack thereof, or injuries to starters, and their stocks are rising by the day. So let's get started. First off with Michael Carter of the Jets. Running back there. There are a lot of potential mouths to feed in the Jets backfield, but with Tevin Coleman and Ty Johnson also vying for touches, but it's Carter's pass catching ability that is separating him from the pack in New York. By most accounts, rookie Zack Wilson already looks comfortable in the Jets offense under center, but having Carter at his disposal to dump off to in the backfield will go a long way, especially in fantasy. The Jets may not ultimately have a lead back this season, but Carter is developing into a potential 1A. Then we also have Traequan Smith of the Saints, wide receiver there. He's being thrust into the spotlight in New Orleans. Now that it's known that number one option in the passing game, Michael Thomas, is out for up to 16 weeks while his repaired ankle ligament heals completely. Marquez Callaway is also in the mix for increased targets. Hey, Chris Hogan just got added to the mix, but it's Smith who most people have moving into the primary receiving role for the Saints during Thomas's absence. We've seen Smith produce in stints, and as long as the Saints don't add any real competition in the meantime, he's going to be an every week fantasy contributor. Then we have Darnell Mooney of the Bears, wide receiver there. The Bears letting go of wide receiver Anthony Miller isn't an indictment on Miller's ability as much as it is a vote of confidence and the unassuming Mooney, who actually got a deep touchdown pass from Andy Dalton, I think yesterday or 2 days ago in practice. Entering his second year, Mooney is coming off a 61 catch, 631 yard, 4 touchdown rookie season, and getting Miller out of the way just clears the way for more targets. Whether it's Andy Dalton or Justin Fields under center, it's going to be an improvement on Mitch Trubisky, and the Bears pass catchers are primed to benefit. Mooney probably isn't going to be a Pro Bowl player, but he's a number 2 receiver with a clear path to over to 70 targets this season. Then we have Xavier Jones, Rams running back. Darrell Henderson is the immediate beneficiary to Cam Akers' heartbreaking Achilles tear, but Jones is right behind him on the depth chart. The undrafted free agent out of SMU put over 1,300 yards and 23 touchdowns in his last season in college, and profiles as more of a prototypical back than Henderson, who has dealt with nagging injuries over his 2 seasons in the NFL. Jones is in line for carries as is, and there's room for his role to grow. He's an easy late round addition in any format. And I was going to add Amari Rodgers to this mix, knowing that Anthony Miller is moving to the Texans from Chicago. Oh, excuse me there. Knowing that Aaron Rodgers is coming back to the Packers, and in a move related to, though, Anthony Miller going from Chicago to the Texans and filling in the slot role there, is that Randall Cobb is going to be going back to the Packers as one of Aaron Rodgers' demands on him coming back to the team. And this leads me to my fallers part of this segment. Amari Rodgers, I wanted him to be a riser because of Aaron Rodgers coming back, but it looks like he's a faller now that Randall Cobb is back in the mix. It was quick, and it was a move predicated by the Texans' acquisition of former Bear slot receiver Anthony Miller. They then traded Randall Cobb back to the Packers. This was apparently one of Rodgers' demands. In any case, Amari's fantasy prospects will suffer, and it could be a year before he reaches anything close to his potential. On a high note, Miller could offer some real value in Houston, especially if Deshaun Watson plays out the season there. Another faller, or several fallers on the same team, Denzel Mims, Elijah Moore, Chris Herndon of the Jets. When it rains, it pours in New York. Mims, Moore, and Herndon have all been practicing with the second team. In fact, Mims has been practicing with the third team as of this morning, confirming rumors that the fantasy prospects of all three are fading. Mims is an athletic specimen, but Keelan Cole is a better fit for the Jets offense on the outside. Moore is being stymied by the return of Jamison Crowder to his starting role in the slot, and Herndon is being supplanted by Tyler Kroft, and probably rightfully so. Herndon hasn't been right since he's been in the NFL. Outside of Dynasty Leagues, you can ignore Mims in drafts right now. There's an argument to pick up more late in redraft, but he's a luxury, and Herndon can be ignored altogether. Another follower, a group of followers, is the 49ers offense to me right now. The 49ers coach Kyle Shanahan stated very recently that there is no quarterback competition between Jimmy Garoppolo and rookie Trey Lance, and that Garoppolo is the starter in San Francisco. I hope this is just lip service espoused to lull Garoppolo into complacency and light a fire under Lance, because the last thing the 49ers offense needs, for fantasy purposes at least, is to have the ineffective Garoppolo under center for any length of time. It also might be a show of frustration by the 49ers in response to Lance not signing his rookie contract as of yet. In any case, Lance isn't going to be handed the starting gig, even if it makes the 49ers more explosive. Another loser, a couple losers, or fallers rather, Devonte Parker and Presta Williams of the Dolphins. Both Parker and Williams are on the physically unable to perform list right now to start camp. Williams is out due to a foot, and Parker for unspecified reasons, though I'm guessing it's probably the nagging hamstring injury that's been bothering him since early 2020, where he missed 2 games and dealt with the injury all season. It's bad news for both players, considering they now have savvy veteran Will Fuller and rookie world beater Jalen Waddle to contend with for targets. Parker will probably bounce back for fantasy purposes, but I fear Williams may struggle to find his footing, whether he returns quickly or not. It doesn't help that Tua Tagovailoa will be under center for the foreseeable future, instead of reinvented gunslinger Ryan Fitzpatrick, who is now in Washington. Another group of fallers, as of earlier today, are the Indianapolis Colts and their offense, as Carson Wentz went down with a foot injury, indefinitely out with a foot injury. So we don't know he's going to come back. And that's not a good thing for the Colts offense as a whole. Or maybe it is. Carson Wentz wasn't playing great to begin with, but we know he has potential. And we know that he was probably the best chance for the Colts under center right now of who they have right now. So yeah, followers there, Colts offense. Outside of Jonathan Taylor, maybe they lean on him a bit more. Or hopefully Wentz isn't out for that long, but we don't know just yet. So stay tuned to Roster Watch. Stay tuned to the other segments that we'll have coming up shortly, in the next day, maybe later today, in the next week, as we learn more about these situations. Anyways, this has been the Trash Man on behalf of RosterWatch.com. Till next time, be ready.